Welcome on in to the When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football Show.
We are your hosts for the night, Sal Adams and the Wesley Bryant. How you doing tonight, brother?
Let's go. I'm doing well.
Glad to hear
Oh,
it. Glad to hear it. You'll notice there's only two of us. We're missing our fine friend, Mr. Corey Lamberts. He had some prior obligations. Derek is playing his last varsity game in Georgia tonight. It's his older son, so he's not gonna be able to make it tonight. So it's just the two of us lads tonight. But we've got a fun show ahead of us.
oh yeah.
Um, Might just well get right to it. I'd go right after it. We've got several things on the line for the show this evening. We have the current injury report.
Yes.
We're gonna update you on your bye week teams for the week. We have picks, we have locks, and we have waiver wire pickup suggestions. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because the WPF show is about to take flight.
Let's go.
Yeah, he does it again.
Uh,
That's so funny that
y-
guy asked you about
yeah.
that. That's
It's this has been fun so far. Let's jump right into injury report.
uh
Is that what we did?
yeah, unless you want to do the bye week team first.
Go ahead.
Up to you.
Go ahead.
One of those two's got to go. Current teams on bye week. We have 4 teams on bye week this week. Some fairly important guys are going to be missed. You have your Detroit Lions, our beloved Detroit Lions. They're not playing this week, so you're going to have to fill in for Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're going to probably have to fill in for Jamison Williams.
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs
Yep.
owners. The Sam Laporta owners right now are happy that they don't have to watch him score 0 points this week.
Right.
It's killing me, but so you're going to want to watch out for that. Tennessee Titans are on a bye week. Tony Pollard owners, Calvin Ridley owners. Philadelphia Eagles, they are on bye week. So your Jalen Hurts, it's a big starting quarterback for a lot of
Saquon
folks.
Barkley.
Saquon, yes sir. The banged up A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
You're not playing anyway. They're out.
The newly number 1 tight end in the NFL,
Oh,
Dallas Goedert.
yeah.
And lastly, the Los Angeles Chargers. J.K. Dobbins, perhaps Justin Herbert. Really, you're
Maybe
probably
Quentin
not starting
Johnson
anybody else.
if you got a big league.
Yeah, maybe QJ if you're in a deeper league, 12 team, 14 team, whatever. That's it. Those are your bye week teams for the week.
Yeah, jumping right into the IR. I'm going down by the
Let's do it.
games. If I don't see anything relative, I'm just gonna skip right over it. Jets and Vikings, really the only one. You saw they opened up the practice window. It's probably still gonna be a minute for him, but TJ Hawkinson, you're still not gonna be able to start him for a few weeks probably. Moving right on down. I mean, you already know Dolphins, Tyreek, or not Tyreek, sorry. Don't do that. Tua's still out, still on IR. Browns Commanders game. Brian Robinson Jr. is questionable with a knee. Still not
Watch
sure.
out for that.
Still not sure
Austin
if
Eckler might be on the rise this week.
yep. Still not sure what's going on with his availability. Colts Jaguars game. Jonathan Taylor is out.
He's out of there.
Anthony Richardson's questionable. Not sure what they're going to do with him. If not, Joe Flacco owners, keep an eye on that right before game time. We're recording this. Let me just say, we are recording this Friday night, late Friday night, so things can still change, still up in the air. And also, Evan Ingram is still questionable. He might play this week. Not sure. Bills and Texans game. A couple of big names here. Josh Allen's favorite target so far this year, Khalil Shakir, he is out. Joe Mixon is out. And Dameon Pierce is questionable. He might return. If not, you're still looking at Cam Akers, maybe. Maybe not. Raiders, Broncos. Max Crosby, questionable. Who knows there? The big story out there, Devontae Adams, out. Is he out because of his hamstring, or is it out because he's out of there?
No. We know the answer to that one. He's out of there.
And Zamir White is also out. So Madison owners might want to look at there, but as against the Broncos. Cardinals at 49ers. Matt Prater, the kicker. If you're in a league that starts kickers, he's
It
questionable.
is important. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch out. And Kittle is also questionable. I see Kittle playing, but I could be dead wrong. That wouldn't be good for me
Is there
personally.
is there an NFL week that goes by that George Kittle is not questionable?
Right. It's like who's the other
Week
guy?
one.
Uh, Hopkins. He was always questionable, but
Oh
played
yeah.
every game. Packers Rams. You got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. I believe it says doubtful, but I heard they're probably going to be out. Jair Alexander is questionable, and Cooper Kupp is still out.
Puka as well. Yeah.
Puka's he's on IR, so
Oh yeah, he's
yeah.
definitely out.
Giant Seahawks. You got Malik Neighbors is out. Where's Danny Dimes going to go? Also with Devin Singletary, doubtful. So, Wan'Dale Robinson owners? Maybe. Cowboys, Steelers. Micah Parsons is out. Brandon Cooks out. Jalen Warren out. And Cordero Patterson out. Some big names there for that matchup. And then Saints and Chiefs. You got really Taysom Hill is questionable with those banged up ribs. And both Kareem Hunt and Alvin Kamara are questionable, but I see them playing. And that is your injury report for week 5.
Thank you. Thank you for that injury report. You know, it unfortunately with fantasy football, it's one of the more relevant things that need to be covered. But it's so hard to be accurate with that, especially when you're doing it a couple days in advance. But I don't think a lot of the reports that you get, I don't think they know what's going to happen.
Right.
They're just, so keep your eyes peeled on that. We'd like to find a way to implement this so it could even be better for you, so you could actually use us and rely on what we're notifying you. But I don't think the NFL knows how to do that correct yet, even.
Yeah.
So, moving on forward to waiver wire pickups for the week. So we mentioned there's some teams on bye week. We mentioned there's some injuries. What do I do? What do I do? Who do I pick up? Where do I look? We're gonna mention some names. Um, this is probably geared a little bit more towards redraft leagues because most guys that are worth any fantasy relevance in a dynasty league are probably picked up at this point. But we've got a couple. Let's just go back and forth. I've got 3. I don't know how many you've got, but let's just go back and forth and mention our guys.
You go first because I got 2, so we'll split it up that way.
Perfect. Yeah. Pickup number 1. This will be a great pickup if your starting running backs are Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Tennessee Titans, Tony Pollard, Trey Sermon, running back of the Colts. He's available in a lot of leagues. He's going to be backing up, or I guess starting,
For Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor this week. Last year, he had a game where he was the lead back against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 15. He had 17 carries for 88 yards. That's a good team. That defense is a lot better than the defense they're playing this week. I would recommend starting Trey Sermon, especially if you've got him available in a flex spot.
All right, and I'll jump right in with a player you might want to pick up. Wide receivers. You got a wide receiver banged up. You got a wide receiver on a bye. The Packers wide receiver core is banged up. So Jaden Reed's probably already on somebody's roster. But Dontavian Wicks, he's probably available in your free agency. You might want to think about picking him up and starting him if you need to. Because you got Jordan Love. You know, his favorite target right now is Jaden Reed when he's in. So Dontavian Wicks tends to be, sometimes I've noticed he's number 2. So
14 targets last week?
Dontavian Wicks, man.
It's definitely worth the look. I'll jump right back in here. I also have another wide receiver that you definitely should be looking at. He might not be available in your leagues, but if he is, definitely give him a pickup. Received 8 targets last week playing in a roster that has some banged up wide receivers. It is Jordan Whittington of the Los Angeles Rams.
I
8 targets,
actually have
6 receptions,
never, did
62
not look at
yards.
that game.
That's right.
You mean it wasn't Tyler Johnson? I said his name
Yeah,
again.
wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, no, he's definitely worth a look, and especially in deeper leagues. He's probably available. I actually did see that he's available in our, I believe, in our dynasty league. It was what I
Yeah,
was
I've
reading.
never heard of his name, honestly. Um, Going back to the running back, which you started off with,
I lied. He's not available. Shannon has him. Go ahead.
Ramondre is getting benched, so to speak. He's still going to play, but Antonio Gibson is getting this
Great.
nod to start this week. I've always liked him. I liked him when he was on the Commanders, Washington football team. Uh, he's definitely a guy that's going to catch out of the backfield. But if he's getting the number one start to go, and if he's in your free agency pool, I'd definitely give him a start. Pick him up.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good one. Last, certainly not least, this guy, we read that he's going to be starting this week at quarterback. He's got absolutely excellent weapons to throw to. They don't have a super tough matchup this week. It is Tyler Huntley, quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. If he does get the start, he's got the weapons. Something's got to give eventually there. I'm not saying he's going to do anything special, but if you need a quarterback and are in a bind, he should be available in your free agency.
Yeah, he looked a little sloppy last week. He's not. He had just got there like the week prior or something like that. So he's got to develop notice the speed of Tyreek Hill and know where to put the ball. He threw it behind him a couple times, but yeah, Tyler Huntley, 2 weeks full of practices, might be worth looking at.
Definitely worth looking at, especially if you need one. I mean, you never know. If you're in a super flex and you're in a bind, it might be worth giving him a shot. Do you start him over a guy like Danny Dimes without Malik Neighbors? I think I do. I look at weapons alone and I'm interested,
Yeah,
in the
I
very
don't know.
least. If you got Jared Goff as your starter and Danny Dimes is your only option since Goff is benched this week or benched on bye this week, I think it's worth a look. Uh, let's move on though.
Yeah,
Next part of our show, the big part, the part that we're super excited about, picks and locks. You want to go first with this Jets and Vikings game, or you want me to?
I'll go. Uh,
Don't
this
don't forget to
is
mention this is an early game. Yeah.
this is an early game. This is happening in London. I believe the game start is 9:30 a.m. our
Yep.
time. Um, Jets at Vikings. You got Vikings. Are they gonna go 5-0? I have them going 5-0. I have Sam Darnold and the Vikings. His revenge game against his old Jets. I see him. I think Jefferson's still gonna get his targets. Um, I think he's gonna be good. I know he's probably gonna have Sauce Gardner on him, giving him a hard time. Look for Jordan Addison to have another solid game this week.
Yep.
That's my lock of the week, Jordan Addison.
All right. Yeah, that's a great lock. I think that he's really good. Sauce Gardner is really tough to get away from. I think Justin Jefferson's still obviously going to perform.
Yeah,
He's Justin Jefferson,
right.
but I definitely think locking Jordan Addison is such a smart move. I didn't make that move, but I like it. This is an early game, like we said. It's in Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
Something about this is just screaming Aaron Rodgers to me.
Mm.
Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to slice and dice this Minnesota team up. Their defense has looked great this year. They have been a good football team. They're 4-0. Jets are my pick to win this game. Aaron Rodgers will win this quarterback duel, in my opinion, and he is my lock to
Hey,
perform well this week.
I like that we don't agree.
I do too. There's something about it just gets me
Yes.
fired up. Panthers at Bears. You want to pull the
Go
trigger on
ahead.
this one, or you
No,
want
go
me to
right
jump
ahead.
in? The Panthers have allowed 600 rushing yards through 4 weeks. That is fourth worst in the NFL, or fifth worst.
We have the same lock. I bet you. I'm putting that out there right now.
They have given up 6 touchdowns to opposing running backs. My pick to win this game is the Panthers. However, my lock is DeAndre Swift. I just think that the Red Rifle, that offense is going to be really good against this Bears defense that I do like, but I think they're going to win the game. DeAndre Swift is going to be on a tear though, especially off a big week.
Well, somebody was gonna steal the other person's thunder, so I'm glad I let you go first because I also say I think the Panthers are gonna win this game, but Swift is gonna have a repeat performance of last week against this weak Panthers defense.
Wow,
So,
great minds, I guess.
yes, sir. Moving on. Uh, Ravens at Bengals. This one, division game. They always play each other tough. Joey Burrow starting to look good. Wrist is looking healthy. I got the Ravens though. I got Derrick Henry. Henry's gonna hit the 10,000 yard rushing yard mark, and his 100th career touchdown in the first half of this game.
In the first half.
He's not
I
far
like it.
away. He's definitely hitting the 10,000. But I got him scoring a touchdown in the first half of this game. And I got Derrick Henry as my lock. Ravens winning.
Ravens look good. The running game is absurd. My lock for this week is also Derrick Henry.
Mm.
I have the Ravens winning this road bout against a really good Bengals team. I like the Bengals this year. I think their record is not indicative of anything other than it's been a rough start to the season. I don't think this is a bad football team. I
They've
think
had
they had
slow starts before.
Yep, I think they had a slow start. I think that they're a better football team than their record shows. It's unfortunate that they're playing the Ravens. That's it.
Well, that and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are starting to get their thing back together. So
they're hitting their stride. Yep.
Yep.
So we both took the Ravens and we both picked Derrick Henry. Next game up, we have Dolphins at the Patriots, and I'll be honest, I don't even want to pick a winner or a lock on this one.
I flip-flopped on this so many times before the
Both
show.
of these teams look pretty meh right now, mediocre at best. As long as the Dolphins don't have a legitimate starting quarterback on their roster, I can't expect a whole lot out of them. I know I was just saying that Tyler Huntley might be worth a start. This isn't a panic situation. We're talking a waiver wire guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I'm taking the Patriots to win this one. My problem lies
let's go.
with who to make as a lock. I like what they've been doing, giving the ball to Antonio Gibson. I think that you're going to be able to throw that guy in your flex and expect him to score you 12, maybe 14 points in a PPR league. If it's not a PPR league, I don't think so. I think you're probably looking at closer to like 8 points. But I like his ability in your flex spot. I'm going to lock him in a flex spot in a PPR league.
You took Patriots, right?
I did.
All right. Well, I did have Patriots originally, but then I read a little bit, gave it some thought. I got the Dolphins. Win this game at the Patriots at New England. And I have two locks. I'm telling you to put Tyreek Hill back in your lineup this week.
I think that's safe.
I took him out the last 2 weeks. Put him back in your lineup. Now Huntley's had 2 weeks of practice together, like I said. They got better chemistry, ready to go. And definitely, like I was talking about, Antonio Gibson before. He's my other lock. Tyreek Hill and Antonio Gibson are the locks for this game. Keep an eye on Gibson. Tyreek Hill can't be slowed down this long, right?
There's no way. You can't be that good and just get slowed down this long. I don't believe it's gonna happen.
Okay. Browns at Commanders. This is another one where... Just kidding. I got the Commanders. Winning this game.
You had me. You had me in the first half.
I know the Browns have a solid defense, but this rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, man, he's showing his skill and maturity beyond his years, honestly. He's making plays. This may be a low-scoring game because of the Browns' defense. I still don't trust Deshaun Watson. Maybe when Chubb's back 100%. I like Chubb. He's definitely a difference maker. But so Njoku is questionable. But I believe he's going to play this game. I didn't say that originally because I think they pretty much said he should play. My lock is Jaden Daniels. I see him escaping. I see Jaden Daniels getting a rushing touchdown and at least one passing touchdown this game. But I also have a lock on the Brown side. As long as he starts, is David Njoku. He's too fast for this Commanders linebacker core. So.
Okay.
Commanders.
Browns at Commanders. I am loving how my boy Jaden Daniels has been playing so far. They look good. They're clicking offensively. Life is good in Washington with that stud rookie into the center. I just think the Browns are going to win this one, though. Amari Cooper is going to be my lock to come out of it against a soft secondary in Washington. I think that's where my decision comes from. I don't love the secondary in Washington. I do like the Browns defense. The Browns are another team. I don't think their record is indicative of how good a football team they are. I believe they're 1-3 right now. I believe they'll win this game. I want you
They're
to
so
pay
split.
close. I want you to pay close attention. I am telling you, if Eckler is healthy and Brian Robinson is not, he's going to get the football and it's going to be a lot. Reason being is that defense is going to be trying to get after that rookie quarterback. He's going to be getting the dump offs. So pay attention to that. Next up, Colts at the Jaguars.
This one was tough.
Let me just say the Jags are not going to get their first win this week. Not in my mind. I want to see ETN come back, and I want to see him come back with a vengeance, but I just don't see it happening here. I like this Colts defense. My lock for this game is actually going to be Trace Sermon taking over for JT. I don't even think you have to put him. I don't think you have to put him in your flex. He could be one of your starting running backs this week. Like I said, he put up a really strong performance. He was a touchdown away from being a high tier RB2 last year when he got his opportunity. I think that Pittsburgh defense he played last year is much better than this Jags defense is. I think he's going to get opportunities and he's going to perform. With that being said, he's my lock.
Colts. You got the Colts over the Jaguars, and you got Tracer as your lock.
Yes, sir.
So I originally wanted to pick the Colts here,
I'm so happy you didn't.
but with Jonathan Taylor out, and then really the Colts just really their whole team's pretty banged up. They got quite a few guys on defense I think are out. I think Quiddy Pay one of them. I don't know if he's been out though. I think the Jags will get their first win of the season at home.
All right.
I think Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas will continue to shine. That rapport with their rookie. He is my lock. Brian Thomas is. Yeah, Anthony Richardson being questionable. Honestly, I feel like the Colts have a better chance to win this game if Flacco were to play.
I agree.
But
That's
I got
why I'm taking him.
Jaguars. I got Jaguars winning.
I do want to note that if Joe Flacco is playing, you absolutely must start Michael Pittman. You have to. I'm sure he's in your starting lineup anyways, but you definitely have to if Flacco is playing. Go ahead,
Oh, yeah,
you're
that's
up
right.
next.
Bills at Texans. This one's gonna be a
Big
fun
game.
one to watch.
Big game. Yeah.
I hope it's on my TV. I hope I don't have to go somewhere to try to see it. But Bills at Texans. At Texans. Look, I like the story of Stephon Diggs and his revenge game. But I don't see Josh Allen having back-to-back stinkers. He's kind of been flip-flopping week to week. Great game, horrible game, great game, not so good. He didn't have a good game last week. I think this will be like I said, a great game to tune in for. But I see big numbers from Mr. Allen. I got
Okay.
Bills. I got Bills at Texans. I got Bills winning. I got Josh Allen as my lock.
This is amazing.
You got the
I also
Texans.
said Stephon Diggs, previous team Tour of Destruction, is gonna be live. This is a huge AFC matchup. These are probably the two best teams in the AFC outside of the Chiefs. And I just don't really love the Chiefs, so I'm gonna say these are the two best
Yeah,
teams in the
I'm right there with you.
AFC. So I love these two teams. I like what both of them are doing. I look at Khalil Shakir being down for Josh Allen. James Cook had a bad week last week. I think that this Houston Texans defense is going to give him some trouble. I don't think that the Bills are going to win this game. I've got the Texans establishing that they are the cream of the crop in the AFC. They're going to win this ball game. I think this is going to be a pretty high scoring game though. And Diggs is my lock.
This is really funny that we keep going back and forth. Because I don't know if you listen. I don't know if you're able to get 97 win the ticket where you're at. But John Jansen and Heather Park, they do their picks or whatever, and literally they were the same way. One was picking this way, the other was picking this way. And it's just
Perfect.
it's so much fun. I love this.
Next game up, Raiders at Broncos. This is another one that I am not super looking forward to. The most interesting thing to me about this matchup right now is where in the world is Devontae Adams going to be playing? Broncos are going to win this one. Bowers is my lock to recover from his downfall last week.
Raiders at Broncos. I got the Broncos.
We agree on one.
I said the Raiders are a mess. The organization itself has just got issues. Like, they were kind of riding high at the end of last year with Antonio Pierce and his whole Raiders. But
Yep.
that's not looking so hot in that locker room anymore.
Nope.
I think, I don't know if you know this, but the Raiders have beat the Broncos the last 9 straight games. Bo Nix
I
and the
didn't know
Broncos are
that.
going to end this 9-game skid against the Raiders and look for Sutton to continue to heat up.
Ooh.
Yep.
Sutton, that's a good pick. I like it.
If you have guys on the Raiders that you should play, or you want to know if you should play, I'd play Jacoby Myers. Maybe Brock Bowers has his comeback game, but I definitely go with Jacoby Myers. But yeah, Broncos win. Cortland Sutton my lock.
Good.
And with that being said, on to Cardinals and 49ers. Look, I really looked at this one and I was like, oh, maybe No, not the Cardinals, man. This is 49ers. They're going to run all over them, especially if George Kittle plays. This game's going to be a beatdown. I actually was going to lock George Kittle and Deebo Samuel.
Oh, wow.
But if George Kittle doesn't play, then it's just Deebo Samuel.
All right.
Deebo and George are going to eat some Cardinal for dinner.
We are in agreement on this one again. The 49ers are going to win this ball game in my mind. I like Jordan Mason. He's played really well so far this year in place of Mr. HLA's tendonitis. I see Jordan Mason hitting triple digits again this week. 120 plus, if I had to guess. I'm
Yards,
not a
not fantasy points, guys.
If he scores 120 fantasy points, yeah, no, that literally will not happen unless you have ridiculous scoring. Moving right along. Next up, we've got Packers at Rams, and I think this is going to be a barn burner. I'm thinking old school, not old school. I'm thinking it's gonna be a good game. I'm really excited about this one. I think the Packers are gonna win it. Jordan Love was absolutely fantastic last week outside of the turnovers, putting up QB 1 week. He's my lock to perform well against this Rams defense that has not been very impressive. I have the Packers winning. I have Jordan Love as my guy.
I have the Packers winning as well. I said with Jordan Love playing, Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson both being out. I believe probably out. They might be doubtful listed right now, but look out for Jaden Reed. He's going to get plenty of action with Jordan Love starting, as I said earlier. And I said if you have Dontavian Wicks on your roster, if not, go get him. You might look to start him too. But Packers, I don't, knowing Matthew Stafford, he might keep this a close game, but I see the Packers winning this high-scoring game. Pick the over if you're better.
Josh Jacobs is going to get his first touchdown this week.
I sure hope so.
He will.
Giants at Seahawks. This is gonna be a blowout game. Another blowout game. Neighbors being out. Seahawks just got embarrassed by the Lions last week. Basically almost up by 2 scores the whole game. Every time they strike, we'd strike back. Kenneth Walker, my lock, probably going to have about 150 yards rushing and at least 1 touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Seahawks, man.
Hawks win. Kenneth Walker is coming off another, not another, but a huge game against Detroit. I expect him to keep chugging right along.
He looks so good, man.
He is my lock to have another big game this week. I'm not sure if you're aware. If you're listening to the show, you're aware because we've made it clear. The Lions don't allow running backs to do what he just did to us.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big running back game. He performed great last week. I will note that is worth mentioning. Wanderlei is going to be the wide receiver one this week, more than likely. He would be a good one to lock in. If Weatherspoon wasn't going to be on him all game. Last week, was
I
it
think
last
I
week?
think
We
Witherspoon's
saw,
still a little dizzy from David Montgomery.
dude, that was such an insane hit. Oh man, I've probably watched that video 50 times, but I think we called it last week or the week before that he was going to have the breakout game that he did, and he performed well. I think he had 18 fantasy points. I'm not sure if he's getting Weatherspoon's coverage that he's going to perform like that again. If he's not getting guarded by him, play in and play out, Wanda would be certainly a semi-comfortable flex, in my opinion. Bumping on down to Cowboys at Steelers. Cowboys don't have Parsons. Steelers are tough at home. I cannot believe that the Cowboys are off to the clunky start that they are this year, but I think they lose another one here.
We're in
I think
agreement.
that I think that the Steelers behind Justin Fields, the guy who Chicago in my mind foolishly moved on from, instead of getting him some offensive line help, they just shipped him down the road like he wasn't capable, and here he is. They're doing well. This Steelers team is doing well behind him. I have George Pickens as my lock into your lineup. I think he's gonna have a big week. He is super talented. I just I the stars are gonna align for him this week.
He's due. Um, Look at Steelers at home, like you said, stout run defense. Cowboys having a absolute horrible time attempting to rush. It's just not going to add up. Also, with Parsons being out, look for Justin Fields to have a Fields day in front of his home crowd. Justin Fields is my lock.
All right, I like it.
First looking at this matchup, it's like, oh yeah, Cowboys are going to win this, right? What's going
Not
on
so
there?
fast.
Yeah, Steelers.
Last game, brother.
Last game. Uh, I'm gonna like this one. I really wanted to pick the Saints to win this game, but after the abysmal game against was it the Falcons last week? Was it 12-15 game or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, the game with
Uh,
no touchdowns.
Listen, if you ran to the waiver wire to pick up Kareem Hunt when you saw that KC signed him, this is the week to
You
start
put
him. Look for him and Alvin Kamara to have a similar game this week, with the Chiefs coming out on top at home. And I also said I have this game being closer than some of you might think. Saints might pull us out, but I have Chiefs, and I have Kareem Hunt and Alvin Kamara as my locks for this game.
good locks. Chiefs are gonna extend their win streak. They're gonna be 5-0. They're home on ESPN prime time. Refs win. Chiefs win. My mistake. I think Olave is gonna eat in this game though for the Saints. I just like the matchup against the Chiefs. I think that they're going to be throwing the ball a lot because they're going to be down. I think that he's going to have a good opportunity to put up some big numbers this week. So Olave is my lock, and the Chiefs, unfortunately, are my pick to win the game.
Yeah, I think there could be three guys on the Chiefs that have big games.
Xavier Worthy, watch out for him.
Xavier Worthy is one of the three. Kareem Hunt, obviously, and I think Kelsey is starting to get that. I don't think he's going to fall off completely like everyone thought he was at the beginning. I think he's starting to get his groove back with Patrick Mahomes. I don't know though. Is T Swift going to be at the game? Because if she's at the game, he might not do so hot.
Well, couple things. With Rashee Rice being out, I just think it's inevitable that Kelsey's gonna have an uptick in performance. It's just
Right.
gonna happen. That pretty much has to happen. Who's the guy in stripes for the Chiefs?
The refs.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a good game, real good game. No, I'm kidding. But jokes aside, I'd really like to see the Saints pull this one off for two reasons. I kind of like the Saints. I said that I thought they were pretenders earlier this year. I meant it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say they haven't won a football game since I said that. Just luck of the draw, I
Yeah.
guess. But man, I don't like the Chiefs.
Came back down to earth.
They did. They did. They did. It's not that I don't like the Chiefs, by the way. I'm sick of watching them win.
Yeah, it's like Brady on the Patriots. You're just tired of seeing him in the
Yeah,
Super Bowl. Somebody
you
else,
know,
like the Lions.
give somebody else a shot, man.
Yeah.
Let Josh Allen get his chance. Let Josh Allen lose in the Super Bowl to the Lions.
Let's.
Let C.J. Stroud lose in the Super Bowl to the Lions.
Yep. I hear
Let's
that.
see it. Uh, that wraps it up, yeah? I think
Yeah,
that's
I
all
think
picks and
so.
lock.
I believe
We
that's it.
Yeah, we gave you your injury report. We gave you your bye week teams. Gave you some picks and locks. We
Some
gave you
waiver
waiver
wire
wire pick
pickups.
suggestions. I believe we're all set.
Yeah, quicker show. Just the two of us. Bounce back.
Yeah.
Like it.
Just two.
Just the two of us. All right. I want people to actually watch this show. Anything else to add?
No, I don't think I have anything. I think I'm all set. I look forward to doing a show with the three of us again next week.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping on by and hanging out with us.
Hey, let's go fly away. You want to sing "Come Fly Away"? You want to do that now? All right. Good night, everybody. See ya.